The Indianapolis 500 is the greatest race in the world.
Often, that goes without saying.
It was all about the Indy 500.
But one man chose to vocalize it.
He would sort of constantly remind you because, after all, the Indianapolis 500 is the greatest race in the world.
And a place that defined this driver.
Dan Wheldon, quite honestly, is just a huge booster of the Speedway.
After all, he did win the 500-mile race twice and had 2 runners-up.
Every day he came in here, every time we interacted, he just had this sparkle in his eye about Indy.
He just said they don't need a new trophy till 2034, so you're going to be stuck with my face, and I'm going to enjoy that. Be the winner on the 100th anniversary of the Indianapolis 500 for me is spectacular.
So when Wheldon died at the Izod IndyCar Series race in Las Vegas October 16th, the first place to remember him was obvious.
He was a great guy and just such a friend of the place that it just leaves a huge void.
But to understand the true story of the English driver, you need not look to just one venue.
His racing achievements were amazing, but who he was as a person, it was just remarkable.
His life was also defined by another place.
Part of that was Dan's idea, was to get involved with the Peyton Manning Children's Hospital.
An entirely different side to Wheldon that began with a simple contest.
Folks came up with this design a helmet program, and for 3 years, Dan wore a helmet that was painted and designed by a patient.
Sophia Banker was one of them.
He was diagnosed in '02 with a cancerous brain tumor.
While getting treatment in 2008, she entered the helmet contest.
It had lots of feminine colors of pink and the pastel colors.
Wheldon chose that one as the winner, and the design not only ended up on his helmet for the Milwaukee race that year, but also earned a meet and greet with Dan and his wife Susie.
I think it was just Sophie's story. It was she's a very, very determined young girl, and she was diagnosed at 3 years old.
And his ability to see past that started a whole new Wheldon legacy.
It's very difficult for Sophie being around a group of people, and Dan had that ability to put us all at ease. Seemed to have so much empathy for our situation and what Sophie was going through.
Soon these types of meetings expanded beyond those who designed the helmets to others who needed help at Peyton Manning Children's Hospital.
Would come for a scheduled 45-minute visit and wouldn't leave for over 4 hours because he had to sit on the couches with the kids, and he would hold the babies and he would hug parents.
Dan just had this Santa Claus kind of effect that kids just couldn't wait for Dan to get to their room.
He was here because he cared about people's stories and wanted to make their days better.
Now it's those memories of Wheldon that do the same following the driver's death.
We feel it was, a gift that we were able to meet their family and that he made a positive impact.
At one place with a car.
He just genuinely loved the place.
And at another with compassion.
And one of the things he said is, Dan chose to be a good guy. He chose to be a good guy.